Hey everybody, welcome back. We're getting some tricky details done on the Scrambler here. When you have a engine with dual carbs on it, very difficult to get the booster and the master cylinder in there. Now, you can see this one's in here. I have a 7-inch diameter booster, stock master cylinder, and I had to make some custom brackets here. But it does give you enough room by the carburetor. That back carburetor there is always a problem, but we got a finger space in there now. And if you're trying to use your stock booster with a dual carb setup, it just isn't going to work. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Next thing we're doing is getting the automatic transmission linkage built. I tried various factory pieces, didn't like any of it. I had to build a whole custom setup. So, more of that coming in a minute, and we'll talk about some of the features, and I'll show you how everything works once we get it in there. Okay guys, this is a set of factory booster brackets, and this is a set that comes with the lead kit. This is a set of lead brakes. L-E-E-D. I'm not affiliated with Lead in any way, but they do make nice products. But they have a 5-inch deep bracket that puts that booster 5 inches off of the firewall. So I said, well, we'll try the other one. And that one's 4 inches and still too big. And I noticed when I tried to put either booster on, you know, with your linkage here, it's kind of like a pivot point, and it gives you a little bit of added pedal pressure on both of them. Well, that didn't center it enough, and there's a pedal assembly. It didn't center it enough, and the master cylinder was trying to come up either too high or way too low. So I had to make some custom brackets. There's one of my brackets that's cut out and milled out and ready to be bent. And when I bend that, you know, each side up, everything is centered, and this winds up being 2 inches deep. And I make a direct connection to the brake pedal to get the booster working. So it works out pretty slick. But to get dual carbs on a 258, you can't use an aftermarket bracket or even a 4-inch bracket, the factory bracket. 2-inch is the absolute maximum you're going to be able to use. When those sides are bent up, that's a 2-inch U, and that's all you're going to get away with if you want to put dual carbs on there. Okay guys, automatic transmission linkage. Here is a piece of one out of a Wrangler, I believe. And you see the bearing? This is a plastic bearing that the shaft would ride on. Now we're real close to the headers there, and I know that wouldn't take heat real well. So I have installed some oil light bearings. That's always going to be, we'll just oil that, and that bearing will always be releasing some oil. So this will be a long-lasting linkage. And that can take the heat. That bronze material in there could take the heat without any problem. Next thing we upgraded was the silly rubber or nylon bushings in here. These always go to hell, you know, from shifting all the time, and pretty soon you have a lot of play, and you're not getting the transmission in gear because these bushings wear out real fast. I got that special end to go into the bushing. It's not a great way of doing it. There's their adjustment and stuff on the factory setup. And there's my 2 brackets that I made. And there's the bell crank that I made. And I started off with some measurements off the factory one, and then went from there. Taking vertical motion and going horizontal motion is easily done with a bell crank, but you got to get the sizes and the ratios very close if you want to get everything to work out right. So this is what I came up with. I'm going to go install this on the Jeep, and then I'll show you how it shifts through the gears. Okay guys, here's the linkage installed. You can see how close we are to the headers. And back you up and show you that's the side of the motor there. Here's the body. We've got one bracket on the body with our bearing. There's our bell crank. The other bearing. See why we need the oil light in there instead of plastic. We're right next to the header. Okay, we've got a joint, a ball and socket joint on the linkage to the transmission. And with the headers, getting from this point to the transmission is kind of tricky. So I had to bend that rod, but I did thread the end and put a ball joint on it. And this one's coming from the column that's on that side of the bell crank. See the bell crank arm there and one there. And then up at the top, same thing, ball joint bushing in the 1/2 inch hole of the steering column, and we have no joints there that are going to wear out or anything like that, and that's going to shift nice and crisp, you know, forever basically. But I have it working super silky smooth, and we'll go through that in just a second. I'll show you how it shifts. Okay guys, it's kind of tight in here. I'm trying to get the camera to show you what's happening. I'm going to try and reach around and see what I can see in the camera and make sure you can pick this up. Okay, we're in park. There goes reverse, neutral, drive, second gear, first gear. Back up again. You can hear the detents. That is absolutely no slop in the shifter. Be easy to shift. Okay, there's park, reverse, neutral, drive. That is some smooth shifting linkage. Like I say, I've got some various pieces of CJ stuff. They put another bracket behind the brake booster, and they're trying to do everything in this tiny little area right there. And I fixed more than I care to of stuff that has completely rusted out. The Wrangler stuff's completely different. It doesn't fit as good as it should. There's some guys telling you can swap Wrangler stuff in here. It doesn't work real good. You can take the pieces and make your own stuff on a CJ, but it's tricky. But I think you can see what it takes to take vertical motion and transfer it into horizontal motion. I'll try and back you up here. And you can maybe see the shift arm here. So we're just taking and we're pushing that down. It pushes the bell crank the other way. Very basic way of doing things, but if you don't get your arm lengths right and stuff, it could get a little tricky. So if I was duplicating a system, it would have went real quick, but I do have a lot of hours into getting this, so I'm very happy with it. And right now I'm happy with it. Obviously it's got to come off again and everything's got to get painted and stuff, but by coming out here and mounting that second bracket, this is basically how they did manual clutch transmission. You use a bracket here on the body. For some reason they didn't do it with automatics, but I think they should have. This is a key player right here in having a nice smooth bell crank, smooth shifting, and Scott, I know you'll be happy with this from the day you start driving it until the day you stop driving it. So I'm very happy. Again, you can see how close we are to the header. Very, very difficult to get automatic transmission linkage from the transmission by the header, by the booster, by the proportioning valve, the brake proportioning valve, with a joint on it. It's very hard to do, but there is enough room to do it. Like I say, you're gonna have to fiddle with it. That is smooth shifting. You will have to fiddle with that. You know, you'll take the rod and you'll bend it some more, and then you'll bend it the wrong way, and then you'll have to bend it back. But you can get through there without hitting the header, without hitting the proportioning valve, or without hitting anything else. You can get that linkage through there, just like you can get a booster on a dual carb setup. So don't let people tell you you can't do it. You're seeing it here. I know that, you know, there's probably only maybe one or two other guys that even have dual carbs. I just don't see it a lot anymore. But if you do, you can directly hook up your linkage to your brake pedal with a 2-inch bracket here. That works. And if for some reason you guys want to run an automatic transmission and you don't think you can get it through with headers on there, you absolutely can. Use a good quality bearing that's not going to melt near the header, and a bell crank, some ball joint ends. Yeah, it's a little pricey to do it with good quality components, but you do it once and it'll be with the vehicle for the rest of its life. Nothing there will ever have to be replaced. So that's all I have for you today. Appreciate you guys watching, and if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend. Promote the channel if you can. And I still have t-shirts for sale. Still selling lube every day, so if anybody needs any of that stuff, it's still going out of here daily. Just put a comment below and I'll get back with you. Okay, see you on the next one.